line out, bag it up.
Hi everyone, I'm Ken Verderami, and welcome to another edition of the Ultimate Steel Shooter, where we talk about all things and only things Steel Challenge. Okay everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Today's topic actually comes from a question from a listener that I've been meaning to get to for a while, so I apologize for that, but we're finally going to have a chat about this particular topic. But before I get to that, a couple of quick program notes. Somebody was asking me, I don't know quite actually how they found out, because I really haven't been telling people how the my recent eye surgery went for detached retina. So that's healing well. I'm still can't put a contact in that eye. I still got another month. I go back in mid-October for the final check, and that'll be 3 months after the surgery. However, one of the unfortunate things about retinal surgery is you're going to develop a cataract at some point, and my cataract is already progressing, and so we may end up doing the cataract surgery sooner than later, although that's not that big a deal. You're usually good to go in a day or two. But anyway, appreciate that person for asking. But anyway, still no shooting for a while until I can put a contact back in that vision and see clearly at 20/20 again. Okay. Anyway, also don't forget, if you're interested in my Tri-Fire training system for Steel Challenge, you can go to our website at steelshootbanners.com. You'll see all 8 stages there. We have dry fire banners for that. We also have over 40 USPSA training banners, 15 USPSA classifier stages in banner form, and we even have the 3 Glock Shooting Sports Federation official stages if you're a Glock competition shooter. So you can check all those out at the website there. And of course, don't forget my books. We have my new updated book that just came out a month or so ago called Do You Still Feel the Need for Speed? Available at Amazon Books. It has over 40 pages of new material, including updated chapters, new chapters, and some new drills added as well. And then, of course, my mental toughness book, The Mental Game, you can find that on Amazon as well. That book is called The Game Within the Game, Mastering the Steel Challenge Mental Game. All right, so let's get on to today's topic. So a while back, I was asked the following question, and it was, are there any traits or habits exhibited by shooters that indicates that they will become any good? All right, so the simple answer to that is yes, but there's a little more to it than that. And I want to turn that question around. Instead of trying to look at shooters and predicting the future by looking into their behaviors and their current habits, I'm going to turn this question around and said, let's take a look at shooters who are already recognized as great shooters. They've already achieved some level of greatness in the sport. And let's take a look and analyze what kind of habits and behaviors they have and see if there are certain generalities and patterns that emerge that we can apply to everyone else, okay? And so let's start off with the bottom line here, and that is that the 2 things that I see in anyone who has succeeded in Steel Challenge, and in this actually goes to life in general, but in particular here at Steel Challenge, is that you see them apply regular effort and a strong desire to do well. Okay. Now there's some more details to that, which we'll get into, but that's the bottom line. If you're willing to put in regular effort, and combined with that, you have this innate desire that you want to do well, then you are likely going to do well and going to succeed eventually. Okay, so I will tell you that it's been my experience and also observing others that people that don't succeed in one form or another, they don't really actually put in the work. Okay? They may practice even every day. However, what you see if you dive into it and look at the details is that they are just going through the motions of practice. They're not really putting in any serious effort. So what do I mean by that? Well, when I talk about effort, the key is you have to put in the mental energy and the mental effort in training and not simply accept that, where I am now is where I'm going to be. Okay. And this is the key ingredient that I see time and time again with most shooters, even though that claim they have a desire to get better, is they're putting in lots of physical effort, right? They may be dry firing 4 or 5 times a week. They may even be going to the range more than once a week, but they're not putting in any the required mental effort during their training. Okay. You see lots of people that just basically spin their wheels because they're not putting in the effort over time, right? Or they just go through the motions of training, and because of that, they actually never figure anything out, right? They may or may not know what issues they have, but they never really put in the appropriate mental energy to diagnose what their issues are, and then to try to come up with appropriate solutions, apply those solutions over time, analyze if those solutions are working, and they take more corrective action if they're not. That's really what this comes down to. I mean, if you talk to any really, really great shooter, right? If you have the opportunity to take a class from someone like Ben Steiger here in the future, do yourself a favor, and throughout the 2 days, make sure you talk to him about this topic, right? I mean, you'll have plenty of drills to work on. He's going to teach you how to train properly. He's going to look and analyze at your shooting and tell you where your issues are. But the really important thing to get out of the 2 days with Ben is to understand how much mental energy and how he goes about a training session and applying mental energy to solve a problem, not just bringing 500 rounds to the range and shooting 500 rounds, right? How many of you, when you go to the range, you bring a bunch of rounds and you say, I'm going to shoot 500 rounds today, and I'm going to do these three drills, and I'm going to do so many reps with each drill, right? You get all that worked out to a T, and you go there. You may even bring a little logbook with you, and you check off every time you do a rep, and you check off every time you shoot the number of rounds for a drill, and then you move on to the next one. And when you're done, you got all these numbers filled out. But did you ever stop during the shooting, right, and spend any mental energy to analyze what's going on and try to understand your shooting, understand your mistakes, and try to come up with a corrective? Why am I doing, right? Why when I transition to this difficult target, I'm always shooting low left. Not I am shooting left, but why? And then try to apply some corrective action to see if you can figure out that that's what the actual physical issue is, and then go and apply a correction to it so you stop doing that, right? Most people don't do that. Now, so here's something you can do if you're unsure about whether you're applying enough mental energy or any mental energy during the training, is that just assuming you are. The next time you go to the range to train, or the next dry fire session, so it could be tonight or tomorrow, simply ask yourself the following question. During your training session, are you doing mostly shooting, or are you doing mostly thinking? Okay. I would submit that if during a training session you are doing mostly shooting, then you are going through the motions of training and you are not applying an appropriate amount of mental energy to the training sessions to help figure things out and to help you actually get better. Okay? I mean, it really is as simple as that. I mean, believe it or not, you can take 50 rounds to the range on live fire and have just a spectacular training session where you learned all sorts of things. And you did it with only 50 rounds. Most people talk to you and say, no, I gotta shoot 300, 400, 500 rounds. No, you don't. You don't actually have to do that, because training is mostly about mental energy as opposed to physical. Okay? Remember, I talk a lot about training guy and match guy, and never bring training guy to a match, and never bring match guy to training. Well, most people bring match guy to training. They're basically on autopilot. They're just shooting. They're not really analyzing or learning anything, and so they never get any better. Right? When you leave the range, on the drive home, get into the habit of analyzing how the session went. Okay? Ask yourself one question to start this process every time you come off the range, whether that's dry fire or live fire. What did I learn during today's training session? If you can't answer that question, then you lost an opportunity to get better, but that points to the fact that you're not applying enough mental energy, and you need to change your approach to the training session. Okay? Always ask yourself that training session. What did I learn today? When I went and spent a week with Lanny Bassam way back when, one of the things that he is a big proponent of is a shooting journal. Not a logbook, but a journal. Okay? And he sells a journal, which is kind of a neat thing. It's got all the appropriate categories of the kind of things that he proposes you should be doing during training. And one of the main sections of the shooting journal for a day's training is titled, "What Did I Learn Today?" Okay? And you're supposed to write down, what did you learn during that session, every single time. Get into the habit of doing that. You will see that pays big dividends over time. All right, so let's give you one practical example here, and then we'll finish up. So how do you change your training behavior if this is something you're not used to doing? What I would recommend you do is each year I would pick one major Steel Challenge skill, right? Of the major Steel Challenge skills, there's only 3 of them, right? I would pick one of them, the one you struggle with the most, or the one that you believe is holding you back from achieving your goals, and then break it down into multiple parts, and then design training programs and the sets of drills that address the specifics of each one of those multiple parts. Okay? Let's take a look at one of the major skills, which is transitions. Okay? So, right, if I said, hey, I'm not very good at transitions and it's really holding me back, what would I do? Well, I might break it down into the following subsets: eye and head speed, precision in movement, proper sight confirmation, relaxation of the shoulders and upper body, shooting at the earliest possible moment. Okay? And there's many others you can break down as well. And then for each of these sub areas, right, there's many different drills that you can put together to work on the individual elements of transitioning correctly at speed. And then you can select additional drills on top of that bring all these skills together, which helps to see if you are actually improving the overall transition skill, which is critical to going fast in Steel Challenge. Okay? And so that's one way you could approach this. Now, let me just leave you with the following thing, and that is you want to always constantly push your boundaries, right? Never settle for the fact that, oh, I'm fast enough. Well, I'm here to tell you there's no such thing as I'm fast enough. You can always get faster, and so you should always push yourself to get faster as you train. Make that a goal, and you will see that alone helps to keep you motivated and always pushing to get better as you go. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for this one. So remember, as always, slowing down is never the right answer. Never. You need to learn to see faster.